filled seats. But that was then. This is now. The real arch serves as a backdrop to the new home of the Rams, where there truly is a home field advantage. LA seems so far away.
The Los Angeles Rams are dead, and the St. Louis Rams are alive.
What a beautiful day at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis as we welcome in a new rivalry. Cardinals and Cubs, Blues, Blackhawks, Rams and Bears. As today, the St. Louis Rams 3-0 get ready to host the 2-1 Chicago Bears right here on Fox. And we're glad you're with us. And hello again, everybody. My name is Joe Buck, along with my partner, Tim Green. Now, Tim, we talked to Toby Wright yesterday, the Rams safety. He said 3-0 is great, but beating the Bears, that would really put us on the map.
Yeah, and if they're going to be on the map, they need more of the same from this Rams defense. That's 12 turnovers in the first 3 games, 3 of those for touchdowns. That defense is all about emotion, and the Rams defense really feels that they can feed off the emotion of this St. Louis crowd.
It is ready to rock here at Busch Stadium. A beautiful, crisp day in downtown St. Louis, Busch Stadium. Bears have won the toss. They will receive. Tim and I are honored to have with us as the third member of our broadcast crew here today, Pam Oliver. Pam, what do you have?
Well, thanks so much. Special teams could really be the story for the Rams here today. I talked to punter Sean Landeta before the game. Told me he's still not quite 100%, still suffering from the effects of pneumonia. The biggest question mark for the Rams will be, though, that rookie kicker Steve McLaughlin. Remember, he missed 3 out of 4 field goals against Carolina. He's going to have to get his act together today. Back to you guys.
All right, Pam, and when you have 2 teams that are going to slug it out, Tim, so often it comes down to special teams.
Absolutely, and McLaughlin knows that the heat is on because the Rams already brought 2 kickers in this week, and they had a kickoff. Now, McLaughlin won it, but he knows he's day-to-day.
McLaughlin ready to kick it away. Michael Timpson back deep for Chicago. A short kick taken inside the 20. This is Primus, and he crosses the 30, knocked down at the 34. And we'll give you a look at Eric Kramer as he leads the Chicago Bear offense out onto the field. Kramer, he's thrown 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, the 7th rated quarterback in the NFC. Up front protecting him, Todd Berger getting the start at left guard, replacing Todd Perry. He's our highlight on the O-line. And then the talent, the hands, Rashaan Salam, Tony Carter in the backfield. Graham and Conway, the wideouts. Jennings, turf toe and all, will start at tight end. Bears put it up, hit Graham deep. Lyle forces him out of bounds inside the 20. And we knew that the Bears would try to do this, Tim. They've been going to Conway deep all year. Today, it's going to be Graham's day to go deep. And we give you a look at the St. Louis Rams defense, just burned for a 48-yard completion to Jeff Graham. Up front, Stokes, Farr, Jones, and Carter. Stokes plays for the injured Sean Gilbert. The linebackers, Pfeiffer and Jenkins, active on the outside. Conlon in the middle. The secondary just burned. Wright and Lyle, the safeties, Light and Parker, the cornerbacks. First down, Chicago from the 17. Kramer can't find it. Another turnover, and Toby Wright is gone. The Bears get the big completion, get the bad exchange, and the 4th defensive touchdown of the year for St. Louis.
And Eric Kramer tries to pick this ball up. This is the time where he needs to just fall on it. Toby Wright takes it all the way, and the Rams defense now is just continuing that surge, those turnovers, the ability to score. This is what Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator, brought from the Minnesota Vikings.
68-yard return for the touchdown. McLaughlin is good with the extra point. And here we go again. The Rams are plus 13 in the turnover ratio. Eric Kramer lost it. Toby Wright found it. And the Rams grab a lead.
Encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
The Bears were concerned about the turnovers coming in, and now you know why.
Yeah, the reason Dave Wannstedt has Eric Kramer as his quarterback because he makes the safe play. He didn't make the safe play on that one, and it cost him.
This kick, and everything is going right, and the Rams almost took over possession as Cedric Figueroa was down and was the first one to touch it. That was a live ball, and the Rams almost took advantage of another Chicago mistake.
That's right. Once the ball goes 10 yards, it's a live ball. And the Bears are trying to get away from it. They think it's going out of bounds. Figueroa knows it's live. If he can scoop that up, the Rams have got another one.
Primus.
The ball was last touched by the kicking team, the Rams. So it's a kickoff out of bounds. Chicago will put the ball in play at the 40-yard line.
Really a bad break for the Rams, who had good downfield coverage. Figueroa was first to touch it. And I guess the bottom line is the football is just hard to hang on to when the Rams are playing in the game.
It looks like it's hard today. Eric Kramer just flat out drops it. It's almost as if there's grease on the ball. Here's where he needs to drop down and fall on it, not try to scoop it up. He needs to make the safe play, but he doesn't.
Toby Wright there to gather it and sprint.
And you say that about Kramer, but hey, he's in the red zone and he's trying to score. He wants to make something happen.
First down for Chicago at their own 40. Little play action. Kramer over the middle, and Conway dropped it. Absolutely wide open, and Curtis knows it.
And now the Bears just have to settle down. They've got to get themselves back into this game, forget about what happened, pretend it didn't happen. And Conway is a guy who will forget about that drop pass. He's dropped them before this season, rarely. When he does, he thinks about the other great players in the game, Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, their bad plays. He knows they come back. He feels he can come back.
Although you have to search for a bad play with Jerry Rice. He doesn't have many. Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Two tight ends set, and the Bears will run it with Salam. Nice pickup across the 45, a pickup of 6. Keith Lyle was there for the stop.
Dave Wannstedt believes that if the Bears are going to reach the next level, Rashaan Salam has to be the one to take them there.
Rashaan Salam, the youngest player in the NFL, getting the start, his first, the Heisman Trophy winner. He checks out as the Bears get ready for a 3rd and 4. Quick slant, Timpson, and a first down catch for Chicago. Trying to get Timpson, Michael Timpson, to pick up from New England into this offense a little more, and they really have to mix the ball and spread it around today.
And although the Bears have come out really throwing the ball, we've seen more passes than runs. You have to remember that they want to run the football today against the Rams. The Rams have the 5th-rated run defense. The Bears want to make them prove it.
First down, and Salam gets a big hit from Roman Pfeiffer and falls forward for a handful.
One thing about Salam, you noticed on that play, he'll take a hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get 3 or 4 more. He's not built like Jerome Bettis, but he has the ability, like Bettis for the Rams, to get hit initially and carry for 3 or 4 more.
Second down and 7 after Salam picked up 3. Kramer trying to checking off at the line of scrimmage, and Salam is hammered. Roman Pfeiffer just met a Heisman Trophy winner up close and personal.
Wow, talk about 3 yards in a cloud of dust, minus 3 yards in a cloud of dust. This is that jet defense. This is jet. Guys penetrating upfield and then Pfeiffer just totally lays the wood. I mean, welcome to the NFL. Welcome to your first start, Rashaan Salaam.
Keith Jennings checks out along with Salaam. Anthony Johnson checks in, as does Gedney. No penalty flags across the middle. Conway and drops short of a first down. Torin Dorn there for the Rams. And time for Chicago to punt it back to St. Louis. So the Bears catch the break, get the good field position, starting at their own 40. They get one first down, and that's it. And Todd Sauerbrunn, who is 27th in the NFL, with an average of 39.5 yards per punt, is on to punt for Chicago. Kinchin back deep for the Rams. High hanging punt. No good. Into the end zone, and the Rams will get it at their own 20. First time we've seen the Rams offense today. Early in the first quarter, St. Louis leading Chicago 7-0. No interceptions. This offense with 0 turnovers. Here's a look at the offensive front. Gandy, Goes, Brostek, White, and the other tackle is Ashmore. And you look at the handsman, Jesse Hester, making the start in place of Alexander Wright. Wright out with a bad back. Bettis, little cutback and a pickup of a couple. And good work by that Chicago defense, which we believe is much underrated up front. Fontenot, Zorich, Simpson, Spellman, and we'll see a lot of Flanagan today. The linebackers, Kane in the middle, Cox and Vincent Smith on the outside. Wolford and Lincoln, 2 good corners, and then the safeties. Anthony Marshall makes the start, but we will see Mark Carrier this afternoon. This is Marshall's first NFL start. Bettis and Russell in the backfield for St. Louis on 2nd and 6. Over the middle, Drayton. First down, St. Louis. Joe Kane, the middle linebacker, there for the stop.
And the Rams offensive line on that play doing exactly what they want to do for Chris Miller. Not only protecting him, but parting the C in the middle and giving him a great throwing lane right down the pipe.
First completion of the day for Miller. He's 1 for 1. Marv Cook checks in as an H-back. He's set up in the backfield along with Bettis on first down. Bettis bouncing it outside, and a nice pickup on first down. He got 9. Zorich there to make the stop.
You really have to admire Jerome Bettis' attitude when you think about what he's gone through this season. He started with a holdout. He came in late. He had an offensive line learning a whole new system and a new way to block. And then he had to contend with the fact that the Rams were giving the ball to Russell. They were asking him to block. But he has a totally positive attitude about the situation.
2nd down and 1 after Bettis got 9. What he did last week, but still looking for that elusive 100-yard game. Leonard Russell. First down, St. Louis into Chicago territory.
That's the nice thing that Leonard Russell gives the Rams. It gives them the 1-2 punch with Bettis. I mean, Bettis is going to be your feature guy. He's got to be. But Leonard Russell's also a guy who's reached 1,000 yards in this league with Denver. And having him in there as a legitimate threat does not allow opposing defenses to just focus on 36 Bettis.
Not only does that pay off now, but later on in the season when the games were on, Bettis will be much fresher.
Absolutely.
First down for St. Louis. Bettis again. Only 1 pass so far, and that the best effort by the Chicago defense.
The Rams will try to pound the ball today with Bettis, and we've seen him running him right up the middle. Now, that's the strength of the Bears defense because of the formation. The Bears take their 3 linebackers, and they stack them right tight on the inside. But the Rams are going to use a changeup. Watch for them to run it inside, run it inside. They think the big hits they can get today, the big gainers, are going to be Bettis getting to the outside.
Bettis 3 carries, 13 yards so far. 2nd down for St. Louis, 2nd and 9. Hester across the middle and a low throw from Miller. A Giant Saints update, a McDonald's game break. Let's go to JB in Hollywood.
All right, Joe, Mario Bates' 33-yard run helped to set up this 3-yard scamper here to even up matters in the Meadowlands. We're all tied at 7. Let's take it back to St. Louis, Joe and Tim.
All right, JB, thank you here. A 3rd down and 9 for St. Louis, faced with their first long effort coming up on a 3rd down and 6 defensive backs. Check in for Chicago, and Mark Carrier sees his first action. Setting up a screen, and there is nothing there. Johnny Bailey checks in, and Minifield is there for the big hit and play for the Bears.
And that's total game planning, total coaching preparation on the Bears defense and Kevin Minifield. This is a play that the Rams have been using time and time in the first 3 games. This dump out screen, Minifield reads it right away. He gets himself between the blockers and makes that tackle.
On a 4th and 13, Landeta on to punt for St. Louis with Jeff Graham back deep for Chicago.
Yeah.
Beautiful punt by Landeta. Still active and down. They're going to call this a touchback. It did get into the end zone, so all the effort and the down of Jim Price all for naught, as the Bears will get it at their own 20. A 52-yard punt. Time to take a break. Time for the Bears to take a breath, get settled, and get to work. Rams leading by 7. Louis, we welcome the Blockbuster Video Blimp and its crew to today's telecast. Piloting the Blockbuster Blimp, Steve Tomlin and Terry Dillard. Be safe up there and keep doing the great work. Beautiful shots. You can see the dirt cutouts from the baseball diamond here at Busch Stadium. They do have AstroTurf covering for them, but the grooves are so deep and so uneven. They just decided to go with the dirt. First down, Salam. Big hit, but a nice pickup for the Heisman Trophy winner. If you just joined us, after a big completion to Graham, on the very next handoff, Kramer trying to get it to Salam, a little bobble, and that's all it took. The St. Louis defense and Toby Wright went 68 yards the other way, turning in their 4th defensive touchdown of the year. Kramer stumbles, dropping back, and a big hit put on Salam. Pfeiffer there, and did the ball come loose? It did, and the Rams say they have it.
The Bears came into this game thinking that the Rams defense and their luck with the turnovers could not continue to persist. And you said it, Kramer stumbles, and that's going to knock off the footwork, but that has nothing to do because Salam's got that ball in there, and it just absolutely pops out. Pfeiffer puts his helmet right on it, and he knocks it out.
Still do not have an official ruling as to who has the football. Parker has it, but the officials are still talking it over. Rashaan Salam not able to hang on, and the officials still talking it over.
And that was the big focus coming into this game. All week long, everybody talked about Salam's ability to hang on to the football. He had a couple fumbles in the preseason. He's had 1 fumble in the regular season, and they wanted him to really concentrate on just gripping down, tightening down on that ball.
Larry Nemmers, our referee.
Is a fumble, first down.
Is getting the reputation of being a fumbler.
Yeah, that's right. If you watch it right here, you can't avoid it. Pfeiffer gets his helmet right on the ball. He's got too much force going the other way. And that's all just big-time defensive play. You wonder why the Rams have all these turnovers. Really, it's because of the aggressive play of their linebackers, their defensive backs. Aggression and upfield play has really been responsible for the 2 turnovers today.
Anthony Parker came away with it, and Wannstedt is hot at his rookie running back. He fumbled last week in Tampa Bay. He fumbles in St. Louis, and the Rams get it back, first down at the Bear 25. And they roll Miller out. And he throws it away.
That won't be the last time you see Chris Miller roll out today. Miller is an athletic guy. He's an athletic quarterback. He's very comfortable throwing the ball on the move. So they get the direction going in the other way, and the play fake, he rolls out. He's got big Dwayne White out there in front just as for a little extra protection. And again, Miller, like Kramer, is supposed to make the safe throw. If no one's open, simply throw it away.
Second down and 10. Pettis, the turf monster, reached up and grabbed him and knocked him down at the 20.
And it's a good thing for Al Fontenot that the monster got Bettis, because Fontenot's the end on that side. He's got to be the one to keep Bettis from bouncing outside. Misdirection. Bettis gets it going one way. He gets the flow. He's a big guy, but he has the quickness to make those kind of breaks.
The St. Louis Rams practice on grass. They didn't do a walkthrough here at Busch Stadium on the turf, and the turf came up and got Bettis and brought him down.
Yeah, and we've seen it get Kramer and now Bettis.
Third down and 5. Roll out the other way. And the dump off to Marv Cook, the former Bear, is slammed down by Vincent Smith. And an early test coming up for Steve McLaughlin.
And this is a big-time series for the Chicago Bears defense. When your offense allows the first score and then they turn it over again in the red territory or near the red territory, it's a huge challenge for that defense to come away with just a field goal. Now it's down to McLaughlin.
And McLaughlin will try a 40-yarder. Only 3 out of 7 in field goal attempts this year, the rookie out of Arizona. And whistles blow before the play gets underway. Flags fly, and we'll check it. Larry Nemmers will give us the call.
False start, 61 offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Bernd Brostek makes it a little tougher on McLaughlin. And they've changed holders here with the Rams, Tim, and they're trying to calm him down.
Well, they've changed holders from Mark Rypien to Chris Miller, not because Rypien wasn't holding the ball, but just to change something. When things aren't going right with your kicker, you try to change something. And Miller has the dual role of trying to calm McLaughlin down, trying to have him take it easy and just kick.
So a 45-yard try. Good. But McLaughlin will take it.
That's a big kick for that kid.
45-yarder good. His longest in the NFL. And all Big Cat can do is watch as McLaughlin makes it 10-0 St. Louis.
In the middle of my workday, I don't do power lunches.
So far this season, the Chicago Bears have the biggest improvement in point production. 17 points last season per game. This year, 27 points per game. And down 10-0, they're going to need all of that improved production to win this game.
McLaughlin ready to kick it away with Michael Timpson back deep for Chicago. Primus again from the 10. Brought down on a saving tackle by Skurlock as Primus crossed the 30. Good field position again for the Bears, and we go back down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Well, guys, one of the first people to try to console Salam was the former Bear Richard Dent, who has now rejoined the team. Salam was absolutely beside himself, but Dent just tried to urge him just to take it easy, just to forget about it and go out there and do your job. Back to you.
All right, Pam. The bottom line is Salam is about the last bastion of help that the Bears have at running back. They keep getting hit with all these injuries.
Right, Tillman's out, Green is out. He's the guy.
2 tight ends sent for Chicago on first down. Play action to Salam. The dump off to Jennings. Jenkins forces him out of bounds, about 1.5 yards shy of a first down.
Boy, Jenkins knocked him right into the bench. Jenkins is a rangy guy, a lanky guy, almost to the point where you'd call him skinny if you saw him walking down the street. But the thing he can do, though, he brings it. He's a big-time hitter, and he's also a guy that Willie Shaw brought with him to the Rams from that Minnesota defense.
Second down and a couple. Jennings got 8. And the Rams defense a little anxious. Jones and DeMarco Farr jumped early, and we'll see who this will cost.
The Bears offense, one of the things that they have to do now is concentrate on diffusing that Jet defense.
5 yards, first down.
So the penalty against DeMarco Farr and a Chicago first down.
Yeah, and that's one of the ways you do it. You do that forced snap count. You try to get those guys to jump off sides. You start to run some trap plays, giving your linemen angle blocks. You start to run some draws, and you start to run some play pass. You just keep mixing it up.
First down for Chicago from their own 45. Salam. Not much. Stokes and Conlon there, along with Pfeiffer for St. Louis.
One thing you have to remember, and we keep talking about this Jet defense. Well, what's a Jet defense? A Jet defense is when you have 8 men up front and you tell your linemen, you tell them, hey, just get into a gap and get upfield. Get into a gap and get upfield. And what it means to the Bears' run game is they're going to have some negative gains. They're going to have some 0-yard gains. But if they can break through that first line of defense, they can gash the Rams' defense for 10 or 12.
Second and 9. Carter out of the backfield, and a big hit put on by Carlos Jenkins. And a third down coming up for the Bears.
Boy, Jenkins is really staking out that flat as just his territory. The Rams defense will leave that flat uncovered. They want to get back. They want to take away the intermediate routes, the deep routes with their defensive backs. So they'll say, okay, we'll open up the flat. And then really it's up to Carlos Jenkins to make those receivers and running backs think twice about when they catch the ball out there. He has to make them pay the price for catching that open field pass.
Third and 2. Conway, his first catch of the day, and shakes a tackle brought down at the Ram 35. Todd Light missed on the tackle, and Pfeiffer was there to cover up.
And even though that's a short pass, this is a really nicely thrown ball by Kramer because the timing has to be exact. He feels the heat coming on, and he needs to place it right on Conway's outside shoulder so that because Conway's heading the other way. So he doesn't want to get him completely turned around. If he does, or he has to come back to the ball, they don't get the first down, but Kramer puts it where it has to be.
They got 12. They did get a first down. A little end around. Conway, penalty flag on the play, and Conway turns a negative into a positive, although gets a big hit from Conlon, and now Shane Conlon is down. Penalty flags on the play, and let's talk about Conlon.
Yeah.
The last guy the Rams can lose to an injury is their middle linebacker, Shane Conlon.
That's right. When you want to shut down the run,
Defense,
Conlon's at the center
number
of it.
98 lined up offside. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the Bears will take the penalty of 1st and 5, and Conlon is hurting over on the sideline. They will try to stay in the game, but they are very thin at the middle linebacker spot.
You talk about being as tough as a piece of grizzle. That's Shane Conlon. I mean, he's the grizzle backer because he can get knocked and banged up and sore and bruised, and he'll just stay out there. You have to either put him on a cart or drag him off the field.
1st and 5, Salam. Big hit, Toby Wright. And he just did get back to the line of scrimmage. Toby Wright very familiar with Rashaan Salam from their days in the Big 8. Rams along with Colorado, right with Nebraska. A loss of 1 on the play after that big hit by Toby Wright. Final seconds of the first quarter, which has belonged to not just the Rams, but again the Ram defense. A couple of turnovers have turned into 10 points for St. Louis. At the end of the first quarter, the score, St. Louis 10, Chicago nothing. Back with number 2 after this. Feels a little scary without hair. What? Start of the second quarter, 10-0 St. Louis. Second down and 5 for the Bears. To the sideline, and Graham, what a catch. Out of bounds at the 20, and now the officials will talk it over.
I was in.
And Jeff Graham is...
Yeah, he's lobbying his case. He's like a barrister out there.
I was in. Just wait a second. What do you want to do? We've got it. You saw the foot on the line. No. Did you see the foot on the line?
There's Wayne Sevier arguing his point there, too. So you got coaches and players, each guy arguing their point.
The field is incomplete.
And Wayne Sevier won it. Boy, it's a nice catch. He gets one down, and the second one was on the line, out of bounds. That's a good call. Graham's toe, his right toe, comes down right on the line. And he makes he did a nice job arguing, Joe. I mean, I think if I had a speeding ticket, I'd want Jeff Graham in my car trying to talk the cop out of writing it up.
But an incomplete pass and a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Bears. Kramer again changing it on the line of scrimmage. Just did get the play away. Graham, a first down catch at the 20.
You're good. You called the last time. Jeff Graham's just not going to let it go. He said, you missed it last time. Well, the ref didn't miss it, but hey, that's why Graham is their go-to guy. He makes those difficult catches on the sideline, and he concentrates on his feet, so he's thinking about not only catching the ball, but getting it in. And Eric Kramer doesn't make it easy. And there you see Graham when he comes down, his eyes go right down to the turf, right down to where that line is.
He had all 3 of his feet in bounds. First down, penalty flag on the play, and Anthony Johnson gets it inside the 15. And again, Larry Nemmers has been a busy man. Get the
Defense.
call.
Offside, number 75. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So a 1st and 5 coming up for Chicago.
And even though the Rams are taking advantage of a couple turnovers, the Rams have 4 penalties. You see it right there, to Chicago's none. But this turnover number here, that's still going to be the key to this football game.
Time of possession. That battle won by Chicago. But they trail 10-zip, and Salam has done nothing.
Well, I know that the Chicago Bears and Ron Turner wants to run this football. They want to run it against this Rams defense. They felt the defense wasn't tested, but so far they're averaging about 1 yard, 1.5 yards on their run plays, but the Bears in the air, their passing game is averaging over 13 yards a play. So they're going to, Ron Turner there, you see him there, he's shaking his head. He wants the run game, but hey, if the pass game's there, you got to go with it.
They go with it. Kramer to the end zone. Jennings, touchdown, Chicago. That was beautiful on both ends. Kramer got the hit. Jennings got a hit, and he held on. His 2nd touchdown of the season.
That's black and blue football. Bears, Central Division in the NFC, black and blue games. Their quarterback got some black on that. The receiver caught it and got the blue. They both got bruises, but the key for the Bears is they both held on. They both came through. They punched it in.
And now Butler will try to tack on the extra point. He's been perfect all season long. Gedney, the holder. And Butler is 9 of 9 on extra points this season. So the Chicago Bears get into the end zone, and Keith Jennings, turf toe and all, goes up, hangs on, and the Bears are within 3 early in the second quarter. Keith, touchdown of the season. 9-play drive covering 68 yards and almost 5 minutes off the clock. The 15-yarder to Jennings. Sauerbrunn kicks it away for Chicago, and the Rams get it back. This is Kinchin. Todd Kinchin across the 30 and stood up around the 32 or 33. And a player is down on the play. That's Cedric Figaro rolling around the far side of the field. At any rate, Kinchin brought down around the 32 or 33, and Figaro is hurting.
The way you tell the intensity of two teams playing a football game on a Sunday afternoon or any time is the special teams. And boy, we've really seen some intensity on these special teams. Guys throwing their bodies around, guys running around, big pile-ups, big scrums, a lot of hard hitting out there.
And as they check out Cedric Figaro, talk to you about this Chicago offense after punching it in. How about Eric Kramer? He's off to a great start. 8 out of 10 for 117 yards and the touchdown throw. And as the Bears come in here to St. Louis, they take on one of the undefeated teams. San Francisco 3-0, playing Monday night against the Detroit Lions. Dallas later on today on Fox against Arizona. Miami with a bye week. Kansas City later against Cleveland, and St. Louis battling the Bears and leading 10-7 here in the second quarter.
And who would have thought to see St. Louis on that list, along with the 49ers and then the Cowboys, who really are still the gem team, the crown jewels of the NFC.
Figaro needs help getting off the field, as the Rams offense, which really hasn't moved the ball or done much in the air. Miller with 3 completed passes, 2 for negative yardage. They'll try to get something going against this Chicago Bears defense. I think it's a misnomer when people say that the Bears don't have a pass rush. The front four for Chicago is much better than people give them credit for.
Yeah, Dave Wanstead is really pleased with these guys. He feels like they're a young group. They're coming on. And then you've got Richard Dent. We saw him earlier on the sideline. You talked about his words to Salam. His experience and his knowledge is going to transfer to that defensive line as this season progresses.
First down for St. Louis from their own 32. To the sideline, Bruce wide open. And into Bear territory down at the 49. Well, actually spotted on the Rams side of the 50, but the first big completion for Miller, a 20-yard pass to Isaac Bruce.
Now, we saw this same type of thing happen to Jeremy Lincoln last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Early in the game, Lincoln was giving the receivers a big cushion. Now you see him down on the field. He's hurt out there now. But he was giving the big cushion to Tampa Bay. Here he is at the bottom of the screen. And look at the space between him and Bruce. And then Bruce just turns it around, and there's too much space there for Lincoln to even think about breaking it up. Now he's just got to make that tackle.
While they work on Jeremy Lincoln, we'll take a break. Tell you how he is doing when we come back. The Rams with a first down at midfield, leading by 3. Well, after the St. Louis Blues lost early in the playoffs, first round defeat to Vancouver, and the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals really haven't done much since 1989. This city was ready for the NFL to come back. And it is alive and well here in St. Louis. And the folks, this is the toughest ticket to get here in St. Louis since the 1987 World Series.
And this Rams team came in here looking like an anemic NFL team with double-digit losses going back over the past few years. Now all of a sudden, this team is 3-0 with a defense that's just unbelievably exciting with their turnover capability and their defensive scoring capability.
They help Lincoln off the field. Carrier checks in. First down for St. Louis at midfield. Nothing for Bettis. Theory there along with Cox. And a loss of 5 on the play. Word on Cedric Figueroa, who was helped off after the kick return, a sprained left knee. So we will not see Cedric Figueroa the rest of the afternoon.
And you've got Figueroa out, and then you see Lincoln getting carried off. Eric Kramer was down there on the sideline getting some stitches just a few minutes ago. So that's another way you tell about the intensity of the game. There's going to be a big injury list after this one.
James Burton checks in for Jeremy Lincoln at the right corner. 2nd down and 15. Miller in trouble. Penalty flag on the play, and Miller throws it away. And this will be a hold against St. Louis, and the Rams offense is doing not much of anything.
And you saw Jim Flanagan was the guy who came in there and broke loose. I think he's the one who drew the holding penalty. And sometimes as a defensive lineman, a holding penalty is never as sweet as a sack, but it's something.
Holding, offense number 70. The penalty is refused. 3rd down.
Wayne Gandy guilty of the hold.
Yeah, and there he is. There's Flanagan, 99. And you see Flanagan flat out beats Gandy around the corner. Gandy takes him down from behind. That's not even a bad hold. I mean, I've seen a lot worse than that. Rarely get called, but Flanagan, the guy making that penalty happen because of an excellent, outstanding pass rush. That's why he's got 4 sacks this season already.
6 defensive backs into the game for the Bears on 3rd down and 15. Hester, 1st down St. Louis. Jesse Hester turned around, and the ball was there waiting for him. And now Miller's banged up.
Well, the Bears wanted to hit Miller early, so they send their 4, and then they send Minifield on the right-hand side, and Minifield gets through and does hit Miller. Not soon enough to keep Hester from getting the 1st down. But the Bears defense, and there you see Minifield, he's the one who gets the hit on him.
And Miller's hand came down after he got rid of the pass and hit Minifield's helmet. And you could see him trying to shake out the pain. 1st down for St. Louis at the Chicago 40. Isaac Bruce, the intended receiver. Burton there with the coverage.
You talk about the cushion, and you saw the cushion that Jeremy Lincoln, the cushion, the space between the receiver that Lincoln had. Now Burton, his replacement, he's going with a completely different tactic. He was right up tight on Isaac Bruce.
The 2-back set checks in for St. Louis. Bettis and Russell on 2nd down and 10 at the Bear 39. Still over 11 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Miller does not like this. He has to drop back in that dirt. Because of that, they hand to Bettis, and he gets nothing. We talked to Miller yesterday, who's still looking at his hand, and he hated knowing that he would have to drop back in that dirt area right in the middle of this AstroTurf.
Right, and that's why they drop back, and there you see Kramer leaving the field or coming back. He's going out to get those stitches in his arm that we talked about earlier.
Well, the beauty of it is we have Pam Oliver here with us. Pam, what do you have?
Well, as you guys said, he's going to come back off and get that re-stitched. We're trying to get a better look at it. I don't have a very good vantage point at this point, but I think he'll get that repaired and he'll be back in.
All right, Pam. Penalty flags fly as the completion is made to Drayton over the middle, an 18-yard pickup, but we'll check the flag. Tell you what, for Miller, see him checking his right hand and shaking it out. He's throwing the heck out of the football here in this last possession.
Defense. Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
And now Miller is out of that dirt spot. You talked about it before, and we talked to him yesterday. He does not want to throw the ball with his feet planted in that dirt because it's a slippery spot. And talk about quarterbacks. Kramer is giving Miller something to shoot for, putting up those kind of numbers.
1st down for St. Louis inside the Bear 25. Bettis gets gets it to the 20, and that's it. A McDonald's game break and an update on this.
Did you see the sock? His sock, he lost his shoe and half of his sock on that play.
It's a good way to sprain a toe.
Yeah, and Smith, the Vikings runner, is a guy who didn't even go to training camp, so he's just starting to get into his groove.
Second down for the Rams, and Miller has time. Looks for his third receiver and finds Troy Drayton, the tight end, at the 5. Miller had all day.
And you talked about Chris Miller's arm and his accuracy. We talked earlier about his athleticism, and now we see Miller's smarts and his savvy, because he does not see any of his primary receivers. He has to look all the way across the field to the other side to find Drayton. You see him there. He's looking left. He goes to pump. Now he scrambles. He finds Drayton. That's a nice pass. That's nice thinking.
Saw Miller come away with a smile. We did a number of Rams games last year. I don't think we saw him smile all year. Rams need a timeout. 8:40 and counting. Better stop that clock. Timeout. Rams will talk it over. They have a 1st and goal around the 5. Number 64 on the other side of Bettis is Keith Lonecker. He is checked in. Goes is out. Constantly moving players in and out, but I believe Goes has a foot problem or an ankle problem. That's why he's out of the lineup. And now Lonecker checks in at the left guard spot. 2-back set for the Rams on 1st and goal. Russell. Nothing.
Now you knew that Goes was hurt when you saw the sock down. Whenever the player has the sock down, you know something's up. They're checking something out. There you see it there. Not only has he got the sock down, he's got the limp. But once the sock comes down, you probably won't see the guy back in the game.
Second down and goal after that loss of 1, and the ball rests on the Chicago 6. Back of the end zone, right into the midsection of the back judge. And a 3rd and goal coming up.
This is the first time we've seen this Rams offense move the ball consistently down the field. Their other scores, one came on defense and Toby Wright's fumble recovery in return for a touchdown. And the other field goal they had came off of another fumble, Rashaan Salaam fumble. But this time the Rams offense has really moved the ball down the field. But if the Bears defense can hold them to a field goal at this point, it's still another win for that Bears defense.
Johnny Bailey checks in. He lines up behind Miller on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Kinchin. Tim Green, you played with Chris Miller in Atlanta. Have you ever seen him so pumped up?
I've never seen him this pumped up. I've never seen him this confident. I have seen him this athletic when he first came into the league. The Bears defense does not get the pressure on him, and worse than that, they don't contain him. If you allow Chris Miller to get out there, he will find a receiver. And who couldn't find Kinchin? Did you see Kinchin holding his arms out like, you gotta get me?
McLaughlin tacks on the extra point. And Miller, after the dance, check this out. Talk about a pumped up quarterback. Chris hurt me. Touchdown, St. Louis.
It's just like a dream.
Is a guy who's had a hard road of late in the NFL. 2 major knee surgeries in '92 and '93. Struggled last year with a personality conflict with Chuck Knox. But do you think he's happy now?
I don't know what that is.
That's happy.
That's happiness. 5 out of 8 on that last drive. And his first touchdown throw of the day. And for Miller, his 5th of the year against no interceptions. Primus and Timpson will let it bounce out of bounds. And another poor kick by McLaughlin. He can't keep it in bounds. The Bears will get it at their own 40.
Line by Chicago.
Well, McLaughlin has made a field goal today of 45 yards, but he can't keep these kickoffs in bounds.
And Kinchin is up here in the slot. He just drags across the bottom of the end zone, and Miller finds him. None of the Bears even come close to picking him up. He's completely ignored, and watch him wave his hands. Todd Kinchin saying, hey, I'm never going to be this wide open again for the rest of my life.
And for Kinchin, his first touchdown of the year. First down for Chicago at their own 40. And a stitched up Eric Kramer will put it up. Graham, good move and knocked down inside the Ram 45. Back down to the sidelines and Pam Oliver. Pam.
Well, guys, Leo Goes apparently has a problem with his right calf. He was kicked in that calf. They're not quite sure exactly if he'll return. He's trying to work out the kinks. We'll keep an eye on him. Back up to you.
All right, Pam, thank you. And I also saw Cedric Figaro down there running around. So a walking wounded for the Rams, not too serious. And we told you that Kramer has stitches in his arm after the big hit he took on the touchdown throw. Salam to the 40. And a pickup of 4.
You will see the Bears go back to this run game. Even though their pass game is obviously the thing that's working, the grand plan still for Dave Wannstedt is to get Rashaan Salam up and running and part of this offense, a big part. There you see Leo Goes being taken out. You know, Pam talked about a kink. When you get kicked in the calf, it's more than a kink because what happens is that thing fills with blood and it's hard to get it out.
Second down and 6. Salam on the toss. And enough for a first down. Rashaan Salam outside is tough to bring down.
He's tough because he gets to the outside fast. This is a running back with outstanding speed, and when he gets out there fast, the defenders are trying to play catch up. They're trying to run to him, so their force vectors, their momentum is going towards the sideline. That's when Salam turns it north and south, and he'll pick up 6 or 7.
Well, I just heard a former NFL player say force vector. First and 10 for the Bears. Nickel package in for St. Louis. Graham can't hang on, and Torrin Dorn almost stepped in front for another pick.
That's one Graham's not even going to bother arguing about. He's going to save his debate skills for one that's even closer. But how about the concentration of Jeff Graham on that? Even though he didn't bring it in, he still caught that ball.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Lining up in the neutral zone again. This is about the 4th time this penalty's been called. Once against the Bears, 3 against St. Louis, and this officiating crew is calling that tight.
Yeah, well, when you play that aggressive defense, that's part of being aggressive. That's part of the Jet snugging up close to the ball.
7th penalty against St. Louis here in the first half. First and 5. Picked off again. Toby Wright with a big hit, and you name it, they were there for St. Louis in the secondary.
And that's what they're taught to do. The Rams are coached by Willie Shaw to try to tip the ball, and then when the ball goes up in the air, everybody gets their eyes on it and they go for it. And there you see Pfeiffer, his eyes are on it. Conlon's diving, his eyes are on it. Everybody's going for that pickoff ball.
Conlon was the one who got his hand out to tip it. Wright almost came away with the interception. Salam short of the 20, but enough for another Chicago first down. Rashaan Salam making his NFL debut as a starter. And the Heisman runners in their first NFL start. Take a look at the list. George Rogers, who ended up having the best rookie season after winning the Heisman, did not have a great debut. Billy Sims had the best.
And those are the 5 guys, Heisman Trophy winners, who had 1,000-yard years in their first season in the NFL.
Not much that time for the Heisman Trophy winner, brought down just inside the 20.
But can you see a positive trend for Salam? Because in the beginning of the game, he was only getting 1, 2, or negative yardage. But now in these last few carries, even though that wasn't a big one, before that we were seeing pickups of 5, 6, 7 yards.
couldn't hang on, and it's Pfeiffer again. We talked to Willie Shaw, who last year was with San Diego, and he believes Roman Pfeiffer could be the next Junior Seau.
Yeah, Pfeiffer is the open guy. He's running all over the field. In the middle of the field is DeMarco Farr, 75. He draws the double team between Berger and Fontenot. He's going to get that double team all day. Farr is the focus of the Bears offensive line.
3rd and 9. Check it, 3rd and 8. Touchdown, Chicago, Conway.
Well,
Keith Lyle beaten deep, and the Bears draw closer.
Yeah, Keith Lyle is going to be in big trouble with Willie Shaw, because Shaw told us yesterday, every time Curtis Conway, that man there, goes down the field, the cornerback knows he's going to get deep help from the safety. We're going to put 2 on Conway all day long. Well, even with 2 on him, Conway gets deep on that, and Kramer delivers. Kramer's having a great day here.
Butler for the extra point. And it's a 3-point game here in St. Louis. The Bears come roaring back, and Eric Kramer continues his fine first half, finding Curtis Conway in the corner of the end zone. 4:28 to go in the first half. The Bears celebrate. They're down by only 3.
The legendary Nürburgring.
Curtis Conway with the touchdown reception, the 20-yarder from Eric Kramer. And the Bears are down by 3. Johnny Thomas. Johnny Thomas gets outside. And Baker is there to save the play for the Bears. But a big return for the rookie, Johnny Thomas.
Back at this touchdown, here's Conway up at the top. Watch him sell the cornerback on the inside route. He starts to turn inside, he looks inside, he turns the cornerback right around, and then Keith Lyle, as we said, he's got to be the guy over the top. Conway, you remember, Joe, I mean, he dropped the first pass of this game. Then he said, he told us yesterday, if he drops one, he has the mindset now to come back. Forget about it and come back he did.
First down for Miller and the Rams. Pettis can't hang on, and Vincent Smith lays a hit. This game got underway with a bang after a big completion by the Bears downfield to Graham. A missed exchange between Kramer and Rashaan Salam. Toby Wright took it back the other way. Officially 73 yards on the fumble return for the touchdown. Another turnover led to a field goal, but the Bears with 14 points in the second quarter trails 17-14 with 4:08 to go. Flanagan,
there he is,
his 5th.
the mainframe.
You dubbed him that last week.
Yeah, I was driving to the ballpark, and I thought about how this guy Flanagan is just tearing up offensive linemen. He's a legitimate threat in the pass rush. You take a look at him. He just puts the move on Dwayne White. Club's a big 350-pounder. Goes by him like he's not there. And he reminded me of the Fridge, and that he's making plays on defense. He's making plays on offense. But he's not a Fridge. I mean, this guy's an appliance of the 90s. This guy is like a mainframe computer. Big, but versatile.
6 defensive backs into the game on 3rd and 20. And Miller, an incomplete pass. Miller was trying to pump fake, and the ball came shooting out. Larry Nemers dropped the penalty flag.
It makes you have to wonder if these balls are not getting mixed up in that dirt. When the ball gets in that dirt of the infield, it's slippery for everybody. And we've seen Kramer bobble it and fumble it.
incomplete, slipped out of the quarterback's hands. It's 4th down.
And now we see Chris Miller bobbling it and getting an incomplete pass. He's lucky he didn't lose it on the backside. He loses it on the backside of that motion, bringing the ball back, and it's a fumble. But if he's bringing it forward and it comes out, it's an incomplete pass.
Everybody's okay. Now take your time.
Everybody's okay on 4th down for St. Louis, and Landeta back to punt it away for the Rams again, and Jeff Graham back deep for the Bears. Graham dropped it, and Pat Eilers, I believe, came away with it for Chicago. He did. Johnny Thomas, who earlier had the great kickoff return, was down deep and with a good coverage for St. Louis.
And that's a big heads-up play for Eilers. Watch Eilers. He tries to get it. Look at it. He just grabs it and pulls it in before the Rams get there. 3 turnovers. I mean, the Rams defense already has 2 turnovers. 3 could, I mean, 2 may be the difference in this game. 3 most certainly would be.
1st down for Chicago. Salam, the tailback behind Carter. Conlon there for St. Louis along with Pfeiffer. Pickup of a couple.
So far this half, we've seen the Bears not do what they want to do, but still be in the game. They wanted to run the ball, and they really haven't. They wanted to eliminate turnovers, and they haven't done that. But what they have done, again, and they've done it all season so far, is get that passing game going, and Kramer to Conway deep.
2nd and 8, Carter. Wrapped up by Jenkins, and Carlos Jenkins has had a tough physical first half.
We talked about it before. He has staked out that flat. They're letting the Bears running backs and tight ends catch the balls out there, but then they're making them pay the price afterward, and now they're starting to cut down on the gains of those passes to the flat.
3rd down and 7 coming up for Chicago as 5 defensive backs check into the game for St. Louis, and Kramer is over on the sideline waiting for the 2-minute warning. 17-14, St. Louis out in front. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. Who holds the record for the longest punt in Chicago Bears history? The answer when we come back. 3rd down for Chicago. Kramer steps up and finds Graham. Out of bounds near midfield, and Jeff Graham has had a marvelous first half.
Nice play by Graham and nice scramble up by Kramer, but I just got to go back to this punt because I know that although your dad holds the record, he passed that punting ability down through the bloodlines because we had dinner with your mom Friday night, and she told me that she could punt the ball over the house in high heels. Is that true?
That's true. It's not pretty, but it's true. 1st down for Chicago. After the big completion to Graham, 17-yarder. You could see Kramer slip in the dirt, and that ball's nearly picked off by Lyle. As Kramer was dropping back, he lost his footing in that dirt, and it almost cost the Bears an interception.
We talked about the dirt and the effect on the ball before. He tries to set up, but that stuff is slippery, and you can see him slip right there. The problem is the shoes, these are turf shoes. They work well on turf. They're made to grab. Here on the dirt, they just slide. They slide, and you might as well be on ice.
Wondered why you got up so early today. 2nd down and 10 with 6 defensive backs into the game for the Rams. Behind Anthony Johnson, incomplete. And a 3rd and 10 coming up for Chicago with 1:43 to go in the half.
Now, the dirt is not only tough on the quarterbacks, it's tough on the linemen. You see Todd Berger, 63. Once he gets back and his feet are on that dirt, he starts to slip. The guy he's blocking starts to slip. Everybody's slipping, falling, and then there's dust everywhere. that's not pretty because when you think about the dust and the dirt of the field, you usually expect a little bit of grass to be thrown in there.
3rd and 10. Anthony Johnson out of bounds, short of a first down. He stepped out of bounds without getting the first down.
That's just a play where Anthony Johnson does not know where he is on the field. He has got to put his shoulder down and go. The dirt slows down the pass rush. Kramer gets his feet on good, solid turf, solid footing, so he delivers the ball. But then Anthony Johnson, Dave Wannstedt, is going to be burning after that play.
Well, 4th down, and the Bears will go for it. 4th and 2. Rams wouldn't jump. Kramer wants a timeout. And we'll see if the Bears will stick with trying to go for it, or if after the timeout they'll bring on the punt team.
Well, the way that the Rams defense has been in that neutral zone and offsides today, they've got to take the chance to try to pull them off.
Well, there are a lot of new shows coming to television. Well, the Bears in a gambling mood, not content being down by 3 at the half, will go for it on 4th and 2.
As much as anything, this shows confidence in the Bears defense that if they don't come up with a conversion, they can keep the Rams out of scoring position.
Conway. First down, Chicago inside the 40. Todd Light there to ride him out of bounds, but Curtis Conway again hangs on.
Well, he dropped his first of the game, Joe, but then since then he's been on. He had the big touchdown pass, touchdown catch, and this is a big catch to convert it. As we said before, when he drops one, he thinks about the great ones. Rice, Irvin, and how everybody drops them. Put it out of your mind and go on. He's gone on.
First down, setting up the screen to Johnson. Good blocking and a first down at the 25. 14-yard pickup on the pass completion to Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson certainly made up for that last first down that he didn't get with the extra effort to pick this one up.
Timpson, his second of the day, and he is down right at the 15-yard line. And it depends on the spot as to whether the Bears have a first down or not. Now the officials move the ball back, and they're going to bring the chains out from the far side of the field. And with 1:01 to go, they'll measure, see if the Bears got it. No, they won't. They'll just call it second down. No, they won't. They'll measure. Coming up on the Dockers halftime, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy of all the scores and highlights from the 4th week of this NFL season. It's all coming up on the Dockers halftime, which is 1 minute, 1 second away.
Whoa, that's closer than I thought.
They move the ball back a couple of inches shy of a first down. And it will be a second and inches for Chicago. Larry Nemmer saying, ooh, that's closer than I thought it was. I'm glad we brought the chains out. But second and inches, and the Bears left with 2 timeouts.
Eric Kramer has done an outstanding job so far this afternoon of holding up and keeping his cool under a lot of pressure. The Rams defense has exerted a lot of heat around him. He's maintained his composure and been able to find his receivers.
Second and inches. Pass was behind the intended receiver, Conway. And Light was right there for the Rams with him step for step.
Yeah, it may be just as well that the ball was behind Conway, because if it wasn't, you got to figure that Todd Light had just as big an opportunity to come down with that ball as Curtis Conway.
So 3rd and inches.
That's a nice guy to have in your back pocket.
Hold up.
Bears pick up the first down as Kramer falls forward for a couple of yards, and now a timeout will be called by Chicago.
Team timeout. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
Chicago Bears, Tim, really showing something after taking the ball. The first possession, they turn it over. Rams turn it into a touchdown. The Bears offense has really played a good first half.
Yeah, and then the next time, versus Rashawn Slav fumbles the ball, and the Rams get 3 more points out of that. But they have the Bears' entire team and Wannstedt, really. You have to look to Wannstedt because he's at the center of it all. They've maintained their composure, and boy, it's a scary thing when you come out into a game and you make a long pass, and then all of a sudden the other defense takes it down, scores 7, and you start to think to yourself, wow, is this Rams defense that's come up with 12 turnovers and 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games, are they going to do the same thing to us?
On the other side for the Rams, showing everybody just how good they can be. 54 seconds to go in the half. First down for Chicago. And now Kramer loses the football. Nothing there. A little heat on Kramer. And DeMarco Farr was in the face of the Chicago quarterback.
Yeah, he's 75. He's the center of this Rams defense. And without Sean Gilbert, the defensive end who's out, he's the focus. So Leuenberg doing a nice job. Really, Farr had nothing to do with it. It's just a flat-out slip. That ball is, I think that ball's got dust on it from the dirt.
Second down and 10. Quick slant, touchdown Bears. Timpson, his first as a Chicago Bear.
That pass and catch was just precision. That was like surgery.
Surgery on Anthony Parker, and a touchdown for Chicago.
I said Kramer maintained his composure, and he has all afternoon.
13-play drive covering 73 yards. Butler on to tack on the extra point. Low snap, good hold, good kick. And just like that, the Bears lead by 4. What a throw by Eric Kramer.
Yeah, it's a nice catch by Timpson, but this is all about the throw. Kramer has to put it right there. If he doesn't, Parker's got it. If he throws it a little behind, Parker knocks it down. If he throws it a little in front, it gives the strong safety or the free safety the opportunity to either knock it down or pick it off. There's a very, very small window. Kramer finds it.
So Michael Timpson, who had 3 touchdowns in '94 with the Patriots, happy to get his first as a Chicago Bear, and nobody happier in this first half than Eric Kramer. Down at 1 point, 10-0. The Bears now lead 21-17.
And Kramer is a guy whose enthusiasm and confidence has really spread throughout this entire offense. And now, if he keeps doing this type of thing, it'll spread throughout the entire team.
Hard to remember those days when people were wondering if Kramer was the right quarterback for this Chicago offense. Everybody seemed like Walsh was the fan favorite. They have to be very pleased with what Eric Kramer has done this season and in this first half alone.
That's right, because this Bears offense is what's winning games for Chicago.
Kinchin across the 25, and that was it. And now you can hear the screams, the laughter, the smiles. They're all on the far sideline of the Chicago Bears. Busch Stadium, which was shaken at the start, is awful quiet.
Well, they don't want to get too quiet. With that kind of defense that the Rams have, they still have the ability to make something happen.
Well, coming up next, it's the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, when most of you will see the Arizona Cardinals take on the Dallas Cowboys, or the Philadelphia Eagles battle the Oakland Raiders. Stay tuned for more of the NFL on Fox coming up after this one. First down, and it looks like the Rams run a draw play to Johnny Bailey. It's across the 35. Clock is running. The Rams are left with 2 timeouts.
You talk about defensive excitement. You know, if you look at that Arizona Cardinals Dallas Cowboys game, and there's some real defensive excitement. Even though the Cardinals are, Eric Hill is out and Swan is down, they've still got a solid defensive team. And the Cowboys really probably right now have the best defensive team in the game. But when you think about the Cowboys defense, boy, the Rams is not far behind.
Bailey a little short of a first down, so 2nd and inches coming up for St. Louis. And there is still time to march the ball down the field. 33 seconds. The clock will start, and the Rams have 2 timeouts left. Second down and a couple of inches. Pick up the first down and dive close to midfield and then call a timeout. For a guy who's had problems with concussions in his career this season, he has not been afraid to dive head first.
Yeah, that's their second team timeout. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
I haven't seen Chris Miller throw his body around the way he's throwing it around now ever in his career, and I played with him for several years with the Atlanta Falcons. This is a guy with totally renewed confidence. Rich Brooks thinks that part of it is his new helmet. He's got a form-fitted bike type of air helmet, and he feels like that gives Miller added protection, and Miller, with that confidence, will throw his body around instead of doing the normal hook slide of a quarterback.
We would like to thank the Blockbuster Video Blimp for providing Fox Sports with these beautiful pictures, aerial views of downtown St. Louis. Glad to have them along with us. Glad to have you along with us. Packed house here at Busch Stadium. They had 59,335 week 2, their first home game against the Saints. And they are packed in here today again. First down for St. Louis at their own 48. 1 timeout left and 19 seconds on the clock. Down by 4. Over the middle, Bailey. And Miller will spend the final St. Louis timeout. Only 9 seconds to go, and not a very wise decision to go for the middle of the field with only 1 timeout remaining.
It'll be a 40-second
St. Louis is
timeout.
into Chicago territory, but left with only 9 seconds here in the half. Tim, I wonder if someone coming from out of town, as you do, I live here in St. Louis, wondering if you were skeptical about this Rams team starting 3-0 and thinking, well, wait till they play somebody.
Well, the Rams are 3-0 more than anything because of those defensive turnovers. 12 of them, 3 of them for touchdowns. Before I came here, I didn't know if those turnovers were just luck. After talking with Rams defensive coordinator yesterday, Willie Shaw, I learned that the Rams have a strategy for causing turnovers, forcing fumbles, and getting those interceptions and pickoffs. I think that they can continue to do that throughout the year. If they do, they're going to continue to win.
Georgia Frontier, the Rams owner, moved the team from Anaheim to St. Louis. Second down and 1 for the Rams with only 9 seconds to play in the half. No timeouts remaining. That'll end the half. First down pickup, but that's the final play of the first half. And the Rams, who at one point led 10-0, will head into the locker rooms trailing by 4. That's the end of the first half with a score. The Bears 21, the Rams 17. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with a Dockers halftime coming up. Big hit Brought down shy of the 35, Myron Baker there. There's on the stop for Chicago.
There's Byrne jogging out onto the field. You know, Byrne, like offensive linemen, he's like all the other offensive linemen. He trains differently, but
agree to make us big and strong, you know what I mean?
he eats the same. Same table manners, too.
And he can act. Vern Brostek right at the center of it all for the Rams offensive line, the 6th-year player out of Washington.
I like to do the book on guys that you don't normally hear a lot about, but guys who are flamboyant characters, and he's definitely one of those guys. As a center, you don't get a lot of attention, but he's certainly a character.
Pam Oliver told us earlier about the calf problem with Leo Goes. He is still out. Keith Lonecker is in at guard, left guard for St. Louis, as they have it 1st and 10 with the ball resting on their own 33. Jerome Bettis in the first half had 7 carries for 14 yards. So if this was the breakthrough day for Bettis, after having over 60 last week against the expansion Carolina Panthers, it ain't happening yet.
And the Bears did this
If only
to
one is
Jerome
working,
Bettis.
they both go out.
Talking about the play clock, one's out, one's working, one's not. They'll get it worked out. Bettis last year against the Bears late in the season, 8 carries for 7 yards. So the Bears defense feels like they know how to get to Bettis and slow him down.
First half numbers, and really the yardage about 2-1 in total yards. And the Bears, Tim, the last 3 times they had the ball, they punched it into the end zone for touchdowns, but the highlight, the turnovers too early by Chicago.
Yeah, that's the big number there. But then you look at these rushing yardage numbers up there at the top. That's not what either team wanted to do today. Bears wanted to get Salam going big time. Rams wanted to get Bettis going big time. Both defenses shutting down the run game.
So now we're ready to go. Salam with an early first half fumble. Bettis trying to get it working. He's in the backfield. Marv Cook set up ahead of Bettis. First down for St. Louis. And the toss to Jerome. Nothing. Vincent Smith and Joe Kane there defensively for the Bears.
Yeah, the backers were there, Smith and Kane, but Al Fontenot, 96 for the Bears, over on this end. Watch his work at the point. He drives Wayne Gandy back and forces that play to bounce further outside than Jerome Bettis wants. Lets the linebackers catch up.
A loss of 1 on the play, and a 2nd down and 11 coming up. That's Bruce in motion. Bruce settles, makes the catch, and brings it across the 40. Isaac Bruce is a superstar waiting to bust out.
He is. He's got great feet. He's got great body control. Last week, this is what he was doing.
Athletic ability when you talk about a wide receiver, and tough after the catch.
Yeah, he came out of the backfield, and then look at that. Twisting, turning around, pulling that ball in one-handed, and then keeping his feet down.
Leading the team in receptions. Got 1 here at the start of the second half, and then he's brought down a little short of a first down. They brought out all the old Bruce Sutter signs from Cardinal baseball lore, and they've now taken a liking to Isaac Bruce. And here's the bad situation for the Rams offense. With inches to go on 3rd down, they have to set up in the dirt.
That's right, because you can't get any kind of a push in that area there. So you're in a difficult situation, almost to where you want to toss the ball.
Ron Wolfley with a first down carry up to the 45. And for Wolfley, that's his first carry of the season.
And the smart thing about this play here is that Wolfley, instead of driving on the ground, he gets that ball and he leaps up. So you just negate the factor of the dirt. You don't worry about the traction when you launch yourself up through the air.
Former St. Louis football Cardinal who played here and then made a move out to Phoenix with Bill Bidwell and jumped at the chance to come back to St. Louis and play with the Rams. First down for Chris Miller and the Rams. Drayton can't hang on. And a big hit put on by Marty Carter. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Alonzo Spellman really working hard at this left end position. There's 90. When you rush upfield and then you spin inside, it can work, but not if there's another guy there waiting for you. You see 67, Dwayne White is the guy waiting.
White looked like he was surfing a little bit at the end of that one. 2nd down and 10. Cook and Bettis in the backfield for St. Louis. Bettis, good blocking out in front of him. And he crosses into Chicago territory, brought down at the 48. Kane and Carrier there on the stop for Chicago.
This Rams offensive line is really starting to find itself. You have to remember this about the Rams offensive line. They not only had to learn a whole new offense this season, they had to learn a new technique of blocking. There you see Lonecker. He's the lead guy who makes the block on the linebacker and springs Bettis. So these guys are working with new plays and new technique.
Bettis up to 21 yards, a 3rd and 3 for St. Louis. Wide open is Bruce, out of bounds at the 40, and a 1st down for the Rams. Jeremy Lincoln back into the game for Chicago there defensively for the Bears.
Isaac Bruce scares you as a defender. He scares you getting deep, and with that athleticism, you just don't want him to get behind you. So what we've seen thus far in this 2nd half is Isaac Bruce not running deep, but running around in the intermediate zone.
He has 3 catches for 35 yards. Lines up wide left. Now comes in motion. 1st down. Bettis. Wow. Bettis laid into Mark Carrier and picked up an extra 2 with that hit.
And this is exactly what the Rams wanted to do in the 1st half from the start of this game. Get Bettis to the outside, and then look at him. He makes the cut, gets going north and south, straight up field, blasts Carrier for 3 more.
Pickup of 8. And a 2nd down and 2 coming up for the Rams. Obvious early in the 2nd half they're trying to reestablish Bettis. Again, trying the other side, and a 1st down St. Louis, but a penalty flag on the play. Carrier again had to come up and make the hit, but the penalty a hold against the Rams.
And that may be due to that new blocking technique.
Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Wayne Gandy, the guy with the hold. That's his 2nd one. You talk about this new technique and what it is, and Rich Brooks brought it in. He wants his offensive linemen to get their hands to the inside body frame of the defenders, not to hold them outside and do any position type of blocking. Get the hands inside, grab hold, and blast them off the ball.
2nd down and 13. Leonard Russell can't hang on. Donnell Wolford and Cox were both there anyway. And a 3rd and 13 coming up. And that hold penalty against Gandy, the 8th penalty of the day called against the Rams, was a big one.
You talked about how the Rams are trying to establish Bettis. There you see Dave Wannstedt. Both teams, you have to realize, coming out of halftime of this game where it's so close, really look at the 2nd half as almost a whole new game. So if Bettis can get going, he can get his momentum going and get into a groove and just make it like the 1st half never happened.
3rd and 13. Miller finds Drayton. 1st down at the 21. Pickup of 22, and Chris Miller is hopping around very well back there.
The Bears worried about Chris Miller escaping out of the pocket right up the middle of the field. He does it this time, and when he starts to run, his athleticism draws Kane, 59, off. See, Kane comes up, he gets off of Drayton, and Miller takes advantage of it.
This looks like Chris Miller, the 1991 version. Miller went to the Pro Bowl in 1991.
And he took us, I was with the Falcons, to the playoffs.
Setting up a screen to Bettis. First down inside the 10.
Bernd Brostek is the guy who makes this happen. We talked about the unheralded center. Watch him pull around to the outside. He's number 61. He's going to put the clamps on Vincent Smith, 55. You see him there? He seals Smith off, and that's what springs Bettis.
Jesse Hester downfield laying a block and helping Bettis pick up the first down inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. Bettis again. Down to the 2. Bettis comes limping off the field.
Nothing could look worse than Bettis to this crowd. Bettis limping off, because we talked about him taking this second half and making it like a whole new game, and he's running like a whole new player. He's running like he's in a groove. This, an injury and getting helped off the field, knocks you out of the groove.
On this drive, 33 total yards, both through the air and on the ground. Needing help off the field. The good news for the Rams is they have a former 1,000-yard rusher in Leonard Russell in their backfield. Second and goal. Wow.
Is right.
Big Jim Flanagan, the last one to get off Russell, who was hammered.
And that's a big back. Russell, 245 pounds. Everybody's slapping heads with Flanagan, because that's just a huge play. To knock that big back backwards is an impressive physical feat, and it's impressive in its toughness.
So third and goal. The ball at the 3. Wolfley is in the backfield for St. Louis. Toss to Russell. Brought down inside the 1. And knowing Rich Brooks, the Rams will go for it. Fourth and goal, and the Rams will go for it. Brooks is a gambler. Jerome Bettis still on the sideline, and it's Wolfley and Russell in the backfield for the Rams on 4th and goal. Play action. Cook, touchdown. Fourth and goal from the 1, and Marv Cook, his first touchdown as a Ram.
Rich Brooks gambles on the 4th down play, and then he tricks the Bears. He makes it look like the run. He sets up the I formation, the running formation. The Rams offense sells the run play. Pop, out comes Miller to Cook.
And McLaughlin on to tack on a very important extra point, trying to make it a 3-point St. Louis lead. Miller with a hold. McLaughlin's best of the day. Selling the fake to Russell. And Miller to the Cook. The Cook did it. He was all alone. And the gambler and the Rams lead by 3. Temperature is dropping as the game wears on. The Rams lead by 3. Steve McLaughlin kicks it away. By far his best kickoff of the afternoon, and Timpson from inside his 15. Across the 30, and that's it. And the Rams defense heads onto the field for the first time in this second half. A packed house. 7:14 to go, third quarter, and the Rams lead the Bears by 3.
Let's have a...
The trainers basically took the tape off, and they're reapplying it as we speak. The owner, Georgia Frontiere, was definitely over there checking out her investment to make sure he was fine. Told coaches there's no way he's going to stay out of this game. He'll be back for more action.
Thank you, Pam. Bettis important on that last drive. Covered 67 yards. Bettis had 33 of them. First possession for the Bears in the second half. Play action to Salam. Wide open is Conway. Todd Light on the far sideline having a difficult day with Curtis Conway. 15-yard pickup and a Bear first down. Curtis Conway is starting to show everybody why the Bears used a first-round pick on him a couple of years back. First down for the Bears across their own 45. Salam into Rams territory and down at the 49.
There you saw the effect of that aggressive defense. We talked about it before. The Jet defense, Rams getting upfield. When Salam made the first defender miss in the backfield, you know he's going to pick up 4, 5, or 6 after that.
Second down for Chicago. Inside St. Louis territory. Salam again, right, and Stokes, Pfeiffer with a finish. A Minnesota-Pittsburgh update on a McDonald's game. Thank you, James Brown. Third down and 4 from the St. Louis 48. Johnson stopped by Pfeiffer.
That play is a one-on-one battle. We talked about it all day about how the Rams defense will leave that pass to the flat open. So the Bears throw it to the running back. They throw it to Johnson, and then he's one-on-one with Pfeiffer. Who's going to win? Pfeiffer wins it, hands down.
Sauerbrunn punts. Poor punt. Kinchin on the run. Across the 30, and the Rams will have good field position. The Bears not able to penetrate deep into St. Louis territory. Myron Baker and Barry Minter on the stop for Chicago. A good start to the second half for St. Louis. The Rams have the ball, and they have regained the lead.
Bring the heat on third down. You know, we have some good play action and a lot of spread formations and those types of things, the one-back sets, and so we have a lot of diversity to throw at defenses.
Chris Miller obviously referring to last year's offense under Chuck Knox, a very predictable Rams offense. Bettis, and then throw on third down. Today they've mixed it up. It's working.
And Bettis is back in the lineup after the sprain of the ankle. Georgia Frontiere helping him tape it up and get him back in there. First down for St. Louis. 2 tight ends into the game for the Rams. Bettis. Good blocking out front. And Bettis out to the 45. He was down, lost the football. The tacked on yardage will not count, but you can see the blocking really starting to figure it out for that Rams offensive line.
Yeah, and that's impressive that Bettis comes back from that injury. Watch these big loads pulling. Loneker 64, Gandy 70. They're out in front, and they're not just out in front. They're out in front making the blocks they have to make. Then Bettis gets it going. That's a big load to break down.
Pickup of 14 yards, lost the ball after he was down. And a first down for St. Louis at their own 45. Bettis again. Boy, somebody has flipped the switch to him. Jerome Bettis is running like he did a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think the maniacal laughter that we heard on that play was actually Jerome Bettis chortling because he feels like his momentum is going. He feels like he's in a groove. When Bettis gets in a groove, he's dangerous.
When Bettis gets in a groove, he's one of the best. He has come alive in the second half, as have the Rams, leading by 3 with 3:10 to go in the third quarter. Second down and 5. Wide open is Bruce, and he takes a seat inside the Bear 30.
If the Bears defense wants to stop Isaac Bruce, they're going to have to start to clamp down on him a little, because Bruce has figured it out. He's not going deep. Of course, now he might do deep as a changeup, but he's finding those intermediate open areas in the zone.
How do you like this turf?
Not
Isaac
good.
Bruce limps off, and we'll see if Georgia Frontier realizes how valuable Bruce is to the offense. She'll go over and help tape again.
It's a good way to measure your worth to the team.
2 tight ends into the game on first down for the Rams. Again. Pick up of a couple over the right side, and a second down coming up.
When you talk about the Rams' aerial game, they're going towards Wolford. Here's the guy that's seeing more throwing, and here's why. They're throwing it at him, and it's working.
Donnell Wolford, who has 2 interceptions this season, making his 65th consecutive start. Considered one of the better corners in the league. He's had an up-and-down start this year. Second down, the Rams will throw. Kinchin wide open. First down, St. Louis inside the Chicago 15. Pick up of 14 on the completion to Kinchin.
This Rams offense in the second half looking virtually unstoppable every phase of the game. They're running the ball, they're passing the ball. Kinchin, 81, knows it's zone coverage. He finds the soft spot, the open spot, and gets himself there. Almost as wide open as the touchdown pass he caught.
Bears defense has pulled Jeremy Lincoln. Anthony Marshall's checked in as a defensive back for Chicago. First down, St. Louis. Drayton, touchdown, St. Louis.
Anthony Marshall was the new guy coming in for the Bears defense. He just dropped Drayton. Drayton went right up the seam. Marshall started to go with him, and then there was some confusion between Marshall and Ron Cox, and Drayton just takes advantage of both of them.
First touchdown of the year for Drayton, and now McLaughlin on for the extra point. He looks better and better with every kick. And the Rams lead by 10. The second half so far has belonged to St. Louis. Miller has had a fantastic day, and the Rams lead the Bears 31-21.
Lower your right.
Cox and Marshall, both guys think that the other guy's got him. Neither one gets him. Miller finds him right away.
First of the year for Drayton, and the Rams have opened up a 10-point lead. McLaughlin kicks it away. Timpson from outside his 10. Brought down shy of the 25. Dexter Davis. 13-yard return by Timpson. And the two teams start to rough it up. Cedric Figueroa is back into the game for St. Louis. And the Bears, who have had only one possession in this second half, have 45 seconds left in the third quarter, and they're down by 10. Everywhere you look, the Rams are fired up. Closing minute of the third quarter, and the Rams lead by 10.
Coordinator for the St. Louis Rams, he told his little dogs, he calls the defensive back little dogs, at halftime they had to get to work.
to shut down the Bears again. Johnson, big hit. Toby Wright. Explain that. Big dogs, little dogs, what does that mean?
Well, Willie Shaw says that the big dogs are the defensive linemen, and they're the focus of his team. He said when his granddad in Louisiana, we used to go visit him when he was a kid, the granddad said, let the big dogs eat first. They're the important ones. They're the ones that hunt. And he's carried that philosophy over to his defense.
Second down and 9 as we wrap up the third quarter. Gedney's first catch of the day, fighting for first down yardage and brought down a little short. And on that pass completion, we will end the third quarter of play here in St. Louis. At the end of the third quarter, the score, St. Louis 31, the Bears 21. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Downtown St. Louis, and I guess the underlying message, football is alive and well in St. Louis. As the Bears will fall forward on the quarterback keeper and pick up a first down on 3rd and inches. Score by quarter, but how about yardage by quarter, Tim? In that third quarter, the Rams gained 135 yards on offense. Chicago only 28. They dominated holding on to the football, and that's what both teams tried to do coming into this game.
Yeah, the Rams offense dominated not only on the ground, but through the air. They're hitting on all cylinders right now.
Bettis with a big third quarter. Play action pass from Kramer. Jennings all alone and then hammered. Dropped by Anthony Parker as he crossed the 40. Pick up of 5.
You talked about Willie Shaw and how he had a talk with his defensive backs, his little dogs at halftime. He told those guys, Pam Oliver told us, that Willie Shaw said, hey, you guys, I want you to tighten up on your coverage. The Bears are going to put the ball in the air, and if they do, I want you guys to come down with it or at least make them pay the price.
Second down for Chicago. Jennings again. Big hit by Toby Wright, but another Chicago first down into St. Louis territory. A Tampa Bay Washington update on a McDonald's game break. Okay, get your touchdown. Now get out of here. First down for Chicago. Kramer to Graham, all alone. Jeff Graham, touchdown Chicago.
Boy, you talk about the poise of this guy, Eric Kramer. That's poise right there. We saw him deal with the pass rush in the first half. This half, we see him deal with that dirt once again. He slipped on it, kept his balance, kept his composure, and then found Graham.
Eric Kramer's career-high 4th touchdown pass in this game. And Butler could make it a 3-point contest. Gedney with a hold. A 3-point St. Louis lead. Chicago will not quit. Kramer kept his footing, found Graham, and Jeff found the end zone.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. By the U.S. Navy, you and the Navy, full speed ahead. By McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Todd Sauerbrunn kicks it away for Chicago. Kinchin from just outside his 10. Crosses the 30, and that's it. Thrown backwards by the time he got to the 33.
Kramer on that last touchdown pass. Look at him slip. He'll drop back, but Todd Light right here, he slips too. That gets Graham wide open, and then Kramer just lobs it up there. Graham with the nice move afterwards to make Keith Lyle miss. and get himself into the end zone.
For the first time today, it's been a 5-catch day for Graham for 140 yards, and Kramer has been fantastic. 4 touchdown throws today. Rams lead by 3, and they have the ball 1st and 10, just outside their own 30. Isaac Bruce all alone. And Chris Miller is down, back behind the play and having a tough time getting up, and that's not a good sign when he's shaking that head.
If Chris Miller gets up from this hit that Spellman lays on him, he'll get up from almost any hit.
See him shake the cobwebs out. He's had a history of concussions, and that is a concern.
Watch Spellman on the right side. He comes through and just racks Miller. Hits him with everything he's got, and he's got a lot. 290 pounds. He comes down with it all, hits him, and then on top of Chris Miller.
Leonard Russell has not done much today, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
For a game where both teams wanted to come in and run the football, this game is turning out to be a shootout between Chris Miller and Eric Kramer.
A loss of 2 on that carry by Russell, and a 2nd down and 12 coming up. Jerome Bettis checks back into the game along with Leonard Russell. 2nd down and 12. Over the middle, fired and caught. That's Isaac Bruce again. But a 3rd down coming up for St. Louis. Marty Carter there for the stop.
Rich Brooks told us yesterday that Chris Miller was ready for a breakout day. He said that Miller has been practicing extremely well. He's been playing very solid, but Rich Brooks predicted that very soon Chris Miller would just light it up with a lot of touchdown passes and a lot of completions, and he's doing it.
Extra wide receiver checks into the game. Kinchin. Johnny Bailey, the 3rd down back. He's in with 1 second left on the play clock. Chris Miller will come over and talk it over. 3rd down facing St. Louis when we return, and a chance for that Chicago defense to come up with a big hole. Right here on Fox. 7 touchdown throws between them. No interceptions. Very nice. Kramer and Miller.
To work on my telestrating skills, but boy, you talk about a shootout. There's the shootout. Big numbers for both of these guys.
Bailey still in the backfield on 3rd and 4. To the sideline, Drayton fighting for a St. Louis 1st down. Minifield wasn't enough, and Drayton fought for a fresh set of downs.
Chris Miller said yesterday that Troy Drayton has done an outstanding job on pass protection in the first 3 games of this season. And he said that today he wanted to give some back to Drayton by getting the ball to him in the passing game.
Miller now 21 out of 30. Drayton's had a big day. A career day for Troy Drayton because of that touchdown, his first of the season. 1st down for St. Louis. Miller deep, Hester overthrow. And Miller again on his back.
Chris Miller will almost always throw his deep ball either deeper than the receiver or right to the receiver. You have to remember, he started out in Atlanta throwing these deep balls to a receiver named Michael Haynes, one of the fastest in the league. So he's used to overthrowing and having them catch up. He's not used to taking those kind of hits.
Miller is down, folks. Chris Miller is down. He started to get up and he fell back down. Moving around, which is a good sign, but still not able to get to his feet, and Mark Rippon will get ready to check in for St. Louis. He will have to come in on 2nd down and 10. An injury timeout, and Miller will at the very least have to leave for 1 play.
And over the last few seasons, the durability of Chris Miller has been in question. In his first preseason game, he got nicked or dinged and had to come out of the game against Seattle in the preseason. Now we see it again, but between then and now, he's taken all kinds of hits and recovered.
He can hardly get up.
Vincent Smith, 55, is the guy who comes through and puts the hit on Miller. Perseveres, gets himself through that line, and knocks Miller, looked like, in the head.
Miller can hardly walk off the field after taking this shot from Vincent Smith. Yes, he did.
But it looked like Smith tried to miss him, though. It didn't look like an intentional, forearm type of thing to the head. It looked like Smith was just coming and tried to avoid the contact almost.
To be honest with you, I think it might go back to the hit laid on by Spellman a couple of plays earlier. Miller's completed 2 balls since then, but he's looked wobbly. And now he'll have to check out, and Mark Rypien, former Super Bowl MVP with the Redskins, checks in on 2nd down and 10. Rams leading 31-28. Rypien right to the air, right to the turf. Fontenot there to bring him down, and you would half expect them to check Rypien in, let him hand the ball off, get into the flow of the game. He went back to throw, and there was nothing there.
Right, and then Fontenot and Chris Zorich take advantage of it, because when the new guy comes in, the first time he drops back, you want to pay him a visit, and that's exactly what Fontenot and Zorich 97 do.
A loss of 7 and a 3rd and 17 coming up. 2nd sack of the day for Chicago. The other one belongs to Flanagan. 6 defensive backs into the game for the Bears. Rypien to Kinchin. Penalty flag on the play, and Kinchin down at the 35. Penalty flag on the play. And they let Rypien warm up with a nice short throw, and an eligible man downfield will cost St. Louis.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 67 of the offensive team. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, if it's Dwayne White and he's ineligible and he's downfield, they're not going to miss him. He's big.
Yeah, he's not going to fool anybody. He was 68 during the preseason, and I think he might have lost a little weight and had a little more room on his shirt, so he changed the 8 to a 7, or maybe he just wanted some more vertical lines to make it look like he lost some more weight. So he changed from an 8 to a 7.
7s are slimmer than 8s. The Bears will decline the penalty, and it's time for the Rams to punt.
It's Miller on the sideline, and we have to remember, this is a guy who has a history of problems with concussions, and when a guy has a history, you think of the Bears fullback Merrill Hodge, and it's frightening because you never know when the next hit is going to be the one that puts him over the edge.
Landeta back to punt. Nice, easy punt. And from his 10, Graham with a fair catch. So the Bears will have it 1st and 10 from their own 10 after the 25-yard punt by Landeta. Chicago trailing by 3. They've got the ball.
Miller may have left the field, but he's left his team with a 3-point lead. Now the task falls to this Rams defense. They've shut down the Bears' run, but not the pass. Can they get to Kramer?
No sacks today for the Rams defense. 2 tight ends into the game for Chicago. Salam. Wrapped up by Kevin Carter after he crossed the 10. This is the worst starting field position of the day for the Bears. Salam got 3.
Offensively now, the Bears want to mix it up, but they've got to face facts. This late in the game, they need to come back and get a score. They're going to have to rely on their passing game.
Anthony Johnson checks in at the running back position behind Kramer. 2nd down and 7. Setting up a screen to Johnson, and Pfeiffer is there for St. Louis. Back down to the sideline, and Pam Oliver. Pam.
Guys, I'm with you on this one. You got to wonder how much Chris Miller can take. The word from the team preliminarily is that he has suffered another concussion. He was actually hit twice on that play. They're putting ice on his neck. They pulled out the smelling salts. But this guy is pretty much in bad shape. I'm sure he doesn't even know who he is at this point. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. 3rd down and 7. Picked off by Dorn. Carlos Jenkins there defensively for St. Louis. He's had a big, big day.
We asked the question, could the Rams defense respond? They certainly responded on this one. They didn't get to Eric Kramer, but they made him feel their presence. They squoze that pocket and force Kramer to throw a pass that he has no business throwing, that he does not want to throw, right into that coverage there with the tip, and Dorn almost comes down with it.
Sauerbrunn, not a good punt. Kinchin on the run. Who came down with it? It still belongs to St. Louis. Todd Kinchin is reckless back there, reckless at best. A terrible punt by Sauerbrunn. Kinchin on the run, trying to do a little too much.
We talked about the Rams kicker, the rookie McLaughlin, and his inability to get the ball through the uprights. We didn't mention Sauerbrunn's inability to get a long punt off this year consistently for the Bears.
The Rams retain possession. They will have it at the Bear 36. 1st and 10, St. Louis. Good try by Kinchin, but almost a deadly mistake. That's coming up next on Fox is Bettis. A nice pickup on 1st down. And we include those of you in the Bay Area. The second half of our doubleheader. Bettis and the ground game, very important for the Rams here late.
Well, they want to take the pressure off of Rippon coming in cold off the bench, and no better way to do it than to hand it off to Bettis, who is in his groove in this second half. He's running the ball well.
2 tight ends in the game for St. Louis, which would support that. Cook lines up as an H-back. Bettis inside the 30 and about a yard or half a yard shy of a St. Louis 1st down. Pickup of 6.
And with this ball game in the position that it's in, you can't think of many players you'd rather have than Jerome Bettis to hold on to the ball and to control it and to work yourself down the field.
3rd and 1 coming up for St. Louis. Under 6 to play. Bettis, he did not get a 1st down.
That is a huge play for Marty Carter, the Bears' strong safety.
And on 4th and 1, the Rams are going to go for it.
Carter comes in from the right side. Bettis has his momentum taken away, but Carter absolutely polishes him off. Takes Bettis on, takes Bettis' head right into his chest.
St. Louis. Wolfley again, and another 1st down for the Rams. He came in with no carries today. He'll leave with 2 big 1st downs.
The second time we've seen the Rams on 4th down trick the Bears defense. Go away from their tendency. First time on the goal line, they lined up, made it look like run, and they passed. This time they line up, and you think they're going to give it to their runner. They give it to their special teams guy, Ron Wolfley.
What a day for these 2 offenses, and a fresh set of downs for St. Louis. Bettis the lone setback. Drake out of bounds, shy of a 1st down. Donnell Wolford there for Chicago.
At the end of the game, I'll select the Miller Player Light Player of the Game.
Try that again.
At the end of the game, I'll select the Miller Lite Player of the Game.
Very nice. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You can write. We know that.
I can write. I can't read.
Leonard Russell in the backfield along with Marv Cook. Two tight ends into the game for St. Louis. Second and short. Russell. First and goal, St. Louis.
And now this game is all up to this Bears defense. There's 8 yards to go. There are 4 downs. If the Bears defense holds and the Rams kick, the Bears can still win it with a touchdown. If the Rams go in for a score, it looks bad, real bad.
4:16 to go in this one. First and goal, St. Louis. 8. Bettis. Great work by the Chicago defense. Fontenot was there, along with Flanagan and Vincent Smith.
There's one win for Dave Wannstedt and the Bears defense. Normally you think now they've got to win 2 more, but with Rich Brooks and his 4th down antics and 4th down success today, you have to be thinking as Dave Wannstedt that you have to defend 3 more plays.
Second down and goal. From the 6. Bettis down to the 2. Nothing fancy for the Rams, Tim. They're just lining up and coming right at the Chicago defense.
And the Rams offense showing real versatility today in that we saw Miller with those great long balls, the passes to different receivers, and now the run game when they need it is there.
And with 3:01 to go, the Chicago Bears have spent their first of 3 timeouts here in the second half of 40 seconds.
Russell back home when Russell tried to come through that line. So Flanagan will be playing it.
Rams in the red zone, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, 3rd and goal. Russell, and there is nothing there. Dwayne Joseph from the secondary on the toss, and this time the Rams do not fool Chicago.
Joseph does an excellent job of anticipating. He's already moving upfield when that ball is snapped. He makes this play. That's outstanding anticipation.
Now the Bears spend their second of 3 timeouts.
It's as important as icing this young rookie kicker. Dave Wannstedt knows that if anybody is going to try to run a fake field goal, a fake in the kicking game, it's Rich Brooks. He knows Rich Brooks has that history. He had that history in Oregon for 18 years when Rich Brooks was almost always an underdog team, and he got very used to taking chances.
25-yard field goal try for McLaughlin. 1 for 1 today, 4 out of 8 for the year. For McLaughlin, that was huge. For the Rams, that means a 6-point lead. 2:42 left. The Bears left with 1 timeout. And just what we talked about at the start, it's up to this Rams defense and the Chicago Bears led by Eric Kramer, who has had a fantastic afternoon.
Now it will be very interesting to see how Willie Shaw, the Rams defensive coordinator, plays this strategy at this situation in the game. He's got a defense that is predicated on being aggressive and putting heat on the quarterback, heat up front. Now what does he do? Does he send the blitz, send his guys after Kramer, or drop into coverage and play it safe?
2:42 to go, and the Bears will get it back. Miller out of the game. A 10-play drive covering 57 yards and over 4 minutes off the clock. McLaughlin good from 25, and the Rams lead by 6. Timpson from the 15. Across the 25, and that was it. Down at the 27. Homko there for St. Louis. An 11-yard return for Michael Timpson. Coming up later, Arizona at Dallas. Second half of our doubleheader. 2:33 to go. One timeout remaining for Chicago, and they have got to put the ball into the end zone to win it.
And whatever the outcome of this game is, I think people around the NFL know that this St. Louis Rams team is for real.
Over the middle, Graham, not much. Carlos Jenkins again.
Well, the Bears offense has time, but they don't have that much time. They're going to have to hurry and get that ball to the receivers deeper.
Second down. Kramer incomplete through the hands of Dorn. In and out of the hands of Hammond. Now a penalty flag, and this is in the area of roughing the passer.
And as you mentioned earlier, again, through the hands of Torin Dorn. That's the third ball.
Foul. Roughing the passer. 15 yards from the first down.
Tim, the Rams were the beneficiaries of one of these calls week 2 against New Orleans, which helped them beat the Saints. Yeah. And here a late hit cost them 15 yards.
It's DeMarco Farr, and what he does is he body slams Kramer. He gets a hold of him, the ball's gone, and it's the twist and the throwdown, and that's the wrestling move that draws the flag.
So a first down from their own 47. Kramer hit, incomplete. DeMarco Farr makes up, and now Kramer is down.
By DeMarco Farr after costing his defense 15 yards. He just works. Todd Berger comes up behind, and you talk about hurting a quarterback. A quarterback would rather be hit high than be hit low, the way DeMarco Farr just hit Eric Kramer.
Second down and 10 with 2:04 to go. 6 defensive backs into the game for St. Louis. Quick slant, incomplete. Timpson. And we'll have one more play before the 2-minute warning. And it will be a big 3rd and 10 coming up for the Bears.
The Rams defense could not have Eric Kramer in a better position for them. That being, Kramer's going to have to drop back wherever he goes. He's going to end up in that slippery dirt. They couldn't have scripted it better.
3rd down and 10. The ball at the Chicago 47. Big rush. Carter out of the backfield, swarm. And the rookie Skurlock with a big first hit. And with 1:49 to go, the Bears will be faced with a 4th and 7. 2-minute warning, actually 1:49 to go. Maybe one more play to go for the Chicago offense. 4th and 7 when we come.
He has as sure a hands as any player on this Bears offense.
4th and 7 for Chicago. Gedney, number 84. He's been silent most of the season. We'll see. 5 defensive backs into the game for St. Louis on 4th down. Over the middle, short of a first down, and this game is over. minute 40 to go, and the Bears left with only one timeout. And the defense holds. And Tim, I'll throw this out to you. You pick Gedney, and Gedney was wide open on this play.
Here he is here. He's in the slot. Kramer slips, goes to the short receiver, and we'll try to get another look at it. There's Gedney, 84, and he is just flat wide open. He gets the ball. He goes for 6.
Instead, Carlos Jenkins there again. He hasn't missed much today. Miller will head off, and the Rams will run out the clock, trying to hold on to the football. That's priority number 1 for St. Louis. Bettis to the 50. And remember, the Bears are left with only one timeout. They will use it here. A pickup of 5 by Bettis on that first carry. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. 2-2. Bettis into Chicago. Minute 25 and counting.
This has really been a spectacular game in that, as we said, we thought it was going to be a run battle, a defensive battle, but it's turned out to be a high-scoring offensive battle with both quarterbacks having great days.
The Blockbuster Video Blimp is based in Orlando, Florida, and we look forward to seeing the Blockbuster Blimp at future Fox Sports events. Thanks for the great coverage. 3rd down for St. Louis. Under a minute to go and counting. Bettis just happy to hang on. Now on 4th down, the Rams will bring on the punt unit. Today's game is being produced by Mike Burks and directed by Joe Assetti. Great work, gentlemen. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill, and helping us up here in the booth, Gary Lynn and Ethan Cooperson. 15 seconds and counting. The Rams will spend a timeout. Now the long snapper.
I don't see the band.
They are tucked away. Landeta will get it and get rid of it. Graham is back deep for Chicago. Quick one step. Good punt. And this is the final play of the day. The Rams will start the 1995 season 4-0. So for Tim Green, this is Joe Buck saying so long from Busch Stadium, where the final score is St. Louis 34, Chicago 28. Be sure to stay tuned for the second half of our doubleheader. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the National Football League. The message today, the National Football League is alive and well in St. Louis, and the Rams start out 4-0. Have a great afternoon.